Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Breakfast Show with me, Anoushey. We're here on City FM 89. How are you guys doing? It is Friday morning, Jummah Mubarak. And of course, we always begin this morning with a bit of a prayer and a request for everybody who's tuned in to say a little prayer for us. And from us, of course, to each and every one of you. Just a good day to do good things, but also a great day to feel better, right? I hope you guys have your seatbelts on. Relax, sit back, enjoy the drive wherever it is that you're going. No overhonking, no overtaking. And the most important thing, to have your Bluetooth connected with your phone. So, you don't have to look into your phone a lot. So there you go. Lots of things to be weighed in today. I was going to talk a little about travel. I was going to talk a little about my trip as well. And of course, what are your plans for the weekend? So start sharing with me. Let's move on to a quick start of the show with a couple of tracks. And I will see you back on air right after. Stay tuned and do not go anywhere. Looking into the influence that musicians have on things world over, on people, it's unreal. I've been looking at Macklemore's concerts, and guys, we've got to promote him. We've got to support him, and we've got to bring him to Pakistan somehow. Like, I am fangirling over Macklemore these days. What a great guy, standing up for the truth and for people's rights without really caring about anything. The kind of conscience you need to have, the clarity of your vision just comes out each and every one of his concerts. You see him fighting for justice, for truth, for people who are on the right side of history, and it is just stunning to witness. So I hope instead of anybody else, we decide to get Macklemore into the country for a concert. I would surely guarantee that it would sell out. Meanwhile, other political leaders around the world using celebrities and singers to implicate that they're being endorsed by certain pop stars. Taylor Swift at this point in time. So Donald Trump basically has falsely implied that Taylor Swift endorses him. So basically he posted some fake images on social media showing Taylor Swift and her fans supporting him with the message, "I accept." And then the image was taken from other social media accounts and had been created using artificial intelligence, believe it or not. So apparently the singer said that she's not endorsed any candidate in the 2024 election, but has backed the Democrats in 2020 and criticized Trump while he was president. So there you go. Crazy stuff, guys. But this is happening in the world of politics and entertainment. More from the world of entertainment. You are tuned into the Breakfast Show with me, Anoushey. I don't know if you remember the hat that was worn by actor Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones' Temple of Doom. Yes, that infamous hat. It has been sold for nearly £500,000 at an auction. And it basically was a brown felt fedora. If you haven't, then look into Indiana Jones' Temple of Doom hat and you'll find it online. It was basically an update to the original, which was featured in the first Indiana Jones films, Raiders of the Lost Ark. So it's fetched around, £487,000, $630,000. And it was made by some Johnson hat company in London. Yep. But it's crazy, you guys. Things become so valuable once the things that they're a part of become invaluable, right? It's crazy stuff out there, but somebody's buying that Indiana Jones hat for nearly $500,000. Mad. The weekend is upon us. It is the 23rd of August. What are your travel plans, if any at all? Are you sticking in at home? Are you going to be going out? Are you planning a mini trip outside your city? Because internationally, it is cheap flight day today. I don't even know what this means, but I just found it online. And basically scoring those wallet-friendly plane tickets, means that you have more money to spend on exciting adventures. And, autumn is going to come in soon, September, October, and it's going to be the start of a slower season, right? So for many years, this day in particular, the 23rd of August, has been considered cheap flight day. So for those who are searching for deals and discounts on all their flights, fares, and vacations in the autumn, apparently now for the next 10 days is going to be the perfect time so you can avoid the crowds, save some money, and get on board with travel fever, right? And there is a bit of a history of cheap flight day. It seems to have been established in 2015 through the cravings of those folks who were watching for low prices on air travel. And every airline is not exactly the same, right? But this season does indicate that companies will drop their prices on airfare. So that's what you're looking for. Now is the time to lock in your travel plans for the next couple of months because prices are going to drop. Yay! 23rd of August, and you're tuned into The Breakfast Show with me, Anoushey, right here on City FM 89. Guys, Friday, the 23rd of August is also, by the way, National Sponge Cake Day in some places of the world. Yeah. So learn how to make maybe a sponge cake this weekend. It's light and it's fluffy and it's sweet and decadent, all things in one. But a well-made sponge cake is really very, very yummy. That's something I can guarantee. And what exactly constitutes a sponge cake? It varies depending on where in the world you find yourself. But it is light and airy, and it is deliciousness in a cake. Yep. So it's a National Sponge Cake Day. It's really weird. Because why? How did this come across? If you go back into the history of the sponge cake, sometime apparently in the early 18th century, there was a respected and wealthy member of the Pallavicini family in Genoa, and they commissioned a cake that was light and delicate as sea foam. Yep, and that is when this creation became the sponge cake came about, and it was amazing. It would occupy tables everywhere, accompany soups and savory dishes. But today, this sponge cake has found itself a staple in so many homes. जब भी शाम की चाय लगती है तो sponge cake साथ होता है, बड़े मजे का होता है. I really like it for one. All of a sudden, all this talk has made me want to have some sponge cakes. I'm still in Turkey. Maybe I'll go around looking for one. Sharing more news from the world of entertainment. Crazy stuff that I'm going to tell you right now. But Arijit Singh has become the most followed artist on Spotify. He's even surpassed that of Taylor Swift's following. I was just reading and I was like, are you kidding me? Well, there you go. But there's one artist from across the border that I would love to see perform. And that is none other than A.R. Rahman. I generally believe that music transcends all borders. And his music, we've all grown up on. There's no hate there. There's no competition there. There's nothing there. If we can put all these differences aside and just focus on the fact that he's made some amazing music, you'll just realize that it's true, And it's very, very easy to do that. We think of a person's nationality first, their religion first, but we have to look beyond that and see their professions, look beyond that and see the music that he's made and how we are all human. And once you can do that, I tell you that the empathy in you will increase tenfold. So you're celebrating A.R. Rahman, not just for being an artist from India, but for making such music for people across the world. Great human and a great musician. My lesson this Friday morning for each and every one of us is going to be, how about pretending that everyone in our lives was sent to teach us something, right? That would make our life a lot easier. Everybody's there to teach us something, to tell us something. And that is something that will maximize your social intelligence as well. You will stop getting offended by people and you will start understanding that this person or this particular situation is trying to teach me something. And once you kind of start seeing the situation that way, it becomes a lot easier to tackle situations. It becomes a lot easier to get less offended and take things in your stride, because things will happen, right? Life goes on. But how seriously you take somebody else's behavior, how much you let it get to you and ruin your mental peace. Now, these are the questions that you most certainly need to ask yourself. That, bhai, main ye nahi hone dungi. Nobody has the ability to take away my sanity from me, right? Every situation, good or bad, is teaching me something that I will utilize in the future for my own benefit. And it is true. It happens once, it happens twice. But if it happens another time, you are the only person to blame. So keep your own behavior in check. And always ask yourself before reacting to something, take a minute and ask yourself, how should I actually react to this given situation? They say one good way to bring up your children is to speak to them instead of yelling at them. Now, I don't have children, so I don't know, but I understand that it's one of the most difficult jobs in the world. To be a kind parent, to be a parent who has so much patience, especially when you have more than one child. Right? But they still said if your children are not listening to you, for instance, whisper or maybe speak to them gently, but don't yell, and also realize that it's hard to stop something fun for something less fun. So yeah, if you want to stop your child from playing and saying, go and study. I mean, it's difficult for them to kind of leave their games and go study, right? It's not fun for them. So you gotta realize that this is where they're coming from, right? And of course, how we speak influences whether kids listen or not, guys. What comes out of your mouth and how it comes out of your mouth is just so important and also extremely sacred. We'll discuss a few tips and tricks on how to be around your children to make sure that they're growing up in a good environment in just a little bit. Stay tuned. Talking about children and their upbringing, another thing that I was reading is that, use kindness and firmness. Now, kindness doesn't mean that you're being weak with your children. You can be kind, you can be gentle, but when you say something in that tone that is firm and stern, they know that you mean it, And yeah, playfulness helps you meet kids at their level, and they will listen to you better. And yeah, just don't sort of scream at them too much, you guys. Kids have a blast playing in the swimming pool. You announce it's time to get out of the pool, but kids generally are like, no, mom, we're having fun, we want to keep on playing. That's fine. They're strong-willed kids and they know what they want to do. But you can obviously tell them, okay, a little later, and then you're out of the pool, like another 5 minutes. Talk to them like they're adults. Work out a deal with them instead of demanding that you get your way with your children every second of the day. Things have changed, you guys. Kids are smart. It's not going to work any longer. Reevaluate the way you go about things and make positive changes. You are tuned into The Breakfast Show with me, Anoushey, right here on City FM 89. Friday morning, there are some behaviors that you must avoid. Laziness does become a bit of a behavior, but there's Stoics who believe that time is a valuable resource and you must use it very, very carefully, right? Wake up each day with like a purpose. The Stoics also believe that anger is a harmful emotion, just like we believe in Islam. Most religions, you read a little bit and you realize that it's all going about the same thing. Anger damages both your individual experiencing it and then those around you as well. So anger, just defer anger. Don't let that get to you. And one thing that truly comes in the way of genuine happiness is materialism, right? True happiness comes from within, and it cannot be dependent on external possessions, right? There have been cynics who have demonstrated this by living comfortably with few possessions. Materialism will take you down. Stop it now. Stop for your ultimate happiness. You are tuned into The Breakfast Show with me, Anoushey, and we're here on City FM 89, talking about things that come in the way of your own happiness. One of them, materialism. Envy, guys. Big one, right? Envy kind of disturbs your inner serenity because it promotes comparison with others and a desire for their possessions or attributes. Like इसके पास ये गाड़ी है, उसके पास ये बंगला है, उसका शौहर जो है उसने इतना बड़ा रिंग दे दिया है, वो डिजाइनर जूते पहन रही है. Instead of seeking affirmation from outside sources, Stoics have said and preached self-assurance and self-improvement every day. You are your only competition. You've said it a million times, but we're going to keep on saying it till it is registered in our head. And one more thing, you guys, gossip. That's one thing that needs to get out of our lives. It's such a harmful practice. And not only does it tarnish your own character, but it also perpetuates negativity. Yeah. So Seneca, who's a big philosopher of Stoicism, he emphasized the value of open and enlightening dialogue instead of any other thing in the world. And it will most certainly be a game changer. Talking about things that generally make you happy, do not be selfish. There is courage and knowledge and temperance and justice that are virtues that are highly esteemed instead of selfishness. So also recognizing the interconnectedness of humanity and striving to make, say, a meaningful contribution to the community. We are interconnected. Sometimes when I look at animals, plants, trees, water, they're just all an extension of us. We are all taking care of one another. And we are part of the bigger scheme of things. So there is an interconnectedness, not just between material and immaterial things, but inanimate objects, again, are an extension of us. It's true. Everything around us deserves respect and goodness. And you use certain material things well, they give you value for money, for instance. So it's giving you something in return. A nice pair of shoes gives you comfort in return. A nice shirt gives you some kind of happiness in return. So you've got to be good to it. And that's how you realize we are all interconnected, taking care of one another in the grander scheme of things. I am still traveling, wrapping up my travels sooner than later. But what is going on with the internet? Has it found itself under the digital microscope one more time? Because in recent months in Pakistan, users have experienced sluggish speeds and difficulty downloading media, intermittent connectivity issues. And instead of addressing the root cause behind widespread outcry and economic concerns, so the government's obfuscation on firewall rumors, it continues. And the latest excuse for persisting crawling speeds being too much, VPN use, or faulty submarine cables is what we're being told. You know, it's just a smokescreen of explanations. And the government has acknowledged updating a web management system for increased cybersecurity. What does web management system mean? It can basically identify traffic coming from VPNs and then block or hinder VPN traffic using techniques like packet dropping or rate limiting or redirection. So I guess we're just being watched every second of the way, you guys. Every second of the way. Don't know how I feel about this, but oh goodness, hoping and praying. That's all we can do. Chatting about life in general, and you guys, of course, are tuned in with me. Be gentle with yourself. Life can be a lot sometimes. So it's only nice, right? Also, for those people who are struggling with their marriages, I read this somewhere and I wanted to share it with you guys. Maybe your obsession over your marriage is what's actually ruining your marriage. Because you keep asking yourself, what is he doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Why is my marriage so bad? How are other marriages compared to mine? Are they happier? Will he ever change? How angry you are because all of the hurt he's caused you? Well, let me tell you, ladies and gents, your thoughts become your actions, and your actions become your words. And your words, thoughts, actions, etc. become the energy you bring to your marriage. I'm no expert here, but I would like to say that bring good energy to the table in any in every area of relationships. And you will find good energy out there as well. What goes around comes around. अपना attitude ठीक करोगे तो दूसरों का attitude बेहतर हो जाएगा. And that will be the miracle. Because you'll be like, wow, people are nice to me. Food for thought. Thank you so much for tuning in. एक बार फिर आप तमाम लोगों को जुम्मा मुबारक. Thank you. I keep, reminding you guys that be nice to one another, all of that. But generally, the kind of kindness everybody has shown me is very, very heartening indeed. So thank you for that. And either way, you guys, keep life in focus. Understand that life is short. Make the most of it. And I was reading a fact, and now it's been studied, that each time you resist acting on your anger, you are actually rewiring your brain to be calmer and more compassionate. Isn't that amazing? The ability to rewire whatever is going on. I love this idea. I'm going to see you guys on air on Monday morning. Here's hoping you have a fantastic start to your day. All my love, hugs, and even kisses. Jummah Mubarak. We'll see you guys on air Monday. Have a great weekend.